then this is Berlin, Texas. This is the first single that I put out back in October. And I like this one. There's some of them out here that I don't like, but I like this one.
I love the start of this one, just like.
Yeah, and
Can you tell me a little bit about that sound?
It is. It's off the Nord. It is an oscillator on a. So it's just like a white noise, and then an oscillator just moving the EQ up and down, is all that is.
Okay.
And then I think there's a couple different iterations of that oscillator going on all at once. But it was to kind of evoke the sound of like a car with the windows down. It doesn't really sound like that, but that was kind of the image that I had in mind for that.
Yeah, because that's what you did with the video.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Because this is a road trip song.
Right. Yeah.
And I went back and forth both with this one, and then you'll hear it again later at the end of PB Richards. But I like these kind of long, noisy intros and outros that don't have much for your ear to grab onto.
Yeah.
And my fear in that was like, especially with this one, putting it up front, is anyone going to make it through the noisy intro to actually get to the meat of the song? Or is anyone going to listen all the way through the outro of PB Richards? Because you got to get 100% or 90% play if you're going to get the 0.09 cents or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, I do know that my aunt, whom I love and whom loves me, didn't get through this whole song because the intro was too alienating. Which again, that's the theme of the album.
It's very on brand for what you're doing with this, you know?
Right. Which is why I left it in there.
Yeah.
And made that decision. I thought about editing it for the single. Like the single would not have the long intro.
Yeah.
But I just decided to. There's some complications as far as like distribution with that, so I just went with leaving it in there.
Yeah, dude, I love how in this part there you've got that guitar just kind of.
Yeah.
And strumming out.
Yeah. Guitar's my main instrument, and I like to think I'm a pretty good guitar player, but when it comes to songwriting, I can never come up with a guitar part. Like, for some reason, I just cannot come up with good guitar parts. So I'm proud of this one.
One of the things that I really love about this song, particularly, is just the dynamic that it has. So that guitar part in that second verse, assuming that's what you're calling that part. I like that it brings in that kind of dynamic that separates it from the first one, but then when you have these like choruses here, it just feels like such a switch, and it's just like so dynamically pleasing.
Yeah. Thank you. I guess I did write a good
which
guitar
also
part.
just sets the bridge up so well too.
Yeah, and bridges. I feel like I think even with this song, I think I wrote the bridge first, and then everything else kind of coalesced around it, which is pretty normal for me. I feel like I'm a good bridge writer, and then sometimes I'll feel like I don't think I did it on this project, but in other projects I'll write a bridge that's great, and then I'll just slap kind of a half-ass verse on it and a half-ass chorus on it. I like a good bridge.
Dude, I'm terrible at writing bridges, and so when I get to hear yours like this one, it's just set up so well. It has such a good build, and especially just right here as the drums are just da 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 da. And it's so cohesive with the rest of the song, but you're like waiting too for that building part, and it fits perfectly in.
Yeah.
And then the little break you have right there.
Yeah.
Love that.
That was I think that may have been Luke Hill's idea, who did all the mastering.
Okay.
I think he suggested that we do a break right there. I sent a lot of the songs, like the rough versions, to him, just to get his opinion on them. That's Luke of Luke and Jay. He's another musician here in town. I also sent this song. This is a weird story. When I finished it, I sent it to the guitar player for Family Force 5. Do you remember that band?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I somehow, through some like mutual connections, met one of their guitar players. And so I sent it to him, and his only feedback was, "That's a vibe." And so that was like my claim to fame for a couple weeks. I was like, "Hey, I just want you guys to know that the guitar player from Family Force 5 did say that I made a vibe."
He did say that this song is a vibe. So.
I don't know. Yeah.
Dude, I'm such a fan of this part where it's just like slowly just slowing down. You've got the sound from the intro coming back in. Very dreamy in a way.
Yeah, it kind of starts to lose reality a little bit.
Yeah.
I wanted to open up into that, yeah.
I feel like that's something that's really cohesive through this album too.
Mhm.
Is this kind of like escape from reality type
Yeah.
feeling, like this almost half awake, dreamy.
Yeah, it's got a
kind of
dream
state.
quality to it, yeah.